Welcome to the video tutorial series of Simpow. In this video, we'll guide you through the Dynpow exercises. In our previous videos, we've talked about Optpow, which deals with the power flow simulation. This time, we'll deal with the dynamic simulation part of Simpow. First, we start by starting Simpow. If directory is not set already, we select the current working directory from Settings. For Dynpow to work, it needs the stationary solution result file from the outpow run and a Dynpow input file. First, we select the power flow result file obtained from our previous outpow run. In this case, it is autres_curse.curse. Next, we select the Dynpow input file, which is already prepared and given in the input files. First, we study the Dynpow data file and compare with the given network data. This is what a typical Dynpow input file looks like. For example, all the synchronous machines are modeled in this group. If we want to find out information about any parameter here, for example, XA, we open the manual, select Dynpow from the left side, then Data Groups, and find Synchronous Machines. In the parameters paragraph, we see that XA means it's the stator leakage reactance given in per unit. This parameter can only be given for certain machine types. Similarly, information about all the other parameters and components and control data can be found by the help of manual. After studying the Dynpow file and the given data in the exercise documentation, we come back to the Dynpow window and solve the Dynpow simulation. Before starting the computation, we change the simulation time to 10 seconds from the control menu. And now we compute and solve the simulation. After the simulation has stopped, we can see that it has run for 10 seconds. Then we study the power flow results for the whole network. We can also present the simulation results by creating diagrams for different elements in the network. For that, we go back to the Dynpow window and select Output, Curves. From here, we can create new diagrams by selecting New Diagrams from the Create New Diagrams menu. From the filter box, we can find the components we want to present in the diagram. The first diagram is for the voltage on bus 7 in per unit, so we look for bus. From the unit box, we can select on whether to present the results in per unit or in physical units. Then we click on Create. Since we want to create more diagrams, we click on Yes. Next, we want to present the active power in per unit on the remaining line between bus 8 and bus 9. So we look for Line. Select the line which wasn't disconnected during the simulation. If we want to see which line was disconnected, we look in the Dynpow input file. Here, we can see that line number 1 between bus 8 and bus 9 was disconnected during simulation time 1 second. So the remaining line will be number 2. We select the line and the parameter we want to present. We create the diagram. In the next diagram, we look for synchronous machines. We select Generator 1 and parameter Voltage and Reactive Power. We also want to present the field voltage from Exciter. In this way, we create the rest of the diagrams. Once we're done with creating all of the diagrams, we can see the list of diagrams from List Diagrams. From here, we can plot the diagrams by double-clicking on the diagram name. We can see that in Diagram 1, time is represented on the x-axis. The y-axis is the voltage in per unit for bus 7. We can see that at the moment of line disconnection, the voltage rises and falls in the subsequent seconds. We can also plot the other diagrams from the diagram list. We can zoom on different axes using the zooming tools. We can also use the Zoom to Fit function to zoom automatically. We can also edit the diagram as per our liking by right-clicking on the diagram or axis and by selecting Edit. After studying the diagrams, we can save the diagram settings as a Dynpow file to be used later. In this case, we save as diagrams.dynpow. We can create a summary of results for all diagrams by selecting all the diagrams using the Shift button and then right-clicking on it to select Show Summary of Result. It presents a summary of all the diagrams in text-based format in the Dynpow window. We can also create paper copies of the diagrams. For that, we select a diagram and select Print from the context menu by right-clicking onto it. We can also give multiple print commands by selecting multiple diagrams at a time. We close the Dynpow window and return to Dynpow. This concludes the video tutorial. In the next tutorial, we'll continue with saving and restarting a simulation, as well as changing of data using the Alter menu. Thanks for watching the video.